iSize is a new car seat law which has caused much confusion. So today, in-car safety manager at Good Egg Safety, Kat Furlong, is going to take a look at what iSize is and what it means to you and I. Kat, what is iSize?
So iSize is part of a new legislation, and it's part of a bigger regulation called R129. And the key thing about the iSize part of the new legislation is that it's really designed to take away the confusion that surrounds child seats.
Yeah.
It makes the child seats easier to choose for your child, easier to fit into the car, and easier to use as well. And it's part of 3 phases, and iSize is phase 1 of that regulation.
I mean, what makes it easier to fit?
So the seats are much easier, and they're easier in several ways actually. So they're based on your child's height and stature rather than their weight. So under the current car seat law R44, you choose it based on your child's weight. There are several different car seat options. There's an overlap in the weight categories. It's really quite confusing. So iSize really takes away that confusion. It's quite clear that you have to rear face up to 15 months, which is clearly labelled, and that's a legal requirement. And the seats all have height limits as well. So if we turn this one around, you can have a look on the bottom here that it quite clearly says that this seat is suitable up to 105 centimetres. Now, there is still a weight limit, however, that's individual to the particular child seat, and again, will be really clearly labelled on the seat. They're also easier to fit. It encourages the use of ISOFIX, and if you have an iSize seating position in your vehicle and an iSize child seat, they'll automatically be compatible.
And are the older R44 car seats, are they now illegal?
No, they're not illegal. And there's been a lot of confusion surrounding this with people thinking they now have to go out and buy one of these seats. They really don't. You can still safely use an R44 approved car seat. The 3 phases of iSize, or Regulation 129, the first one's iSize. This came in 2013. Phase 2 is currently being worked on at the moment, and that refers to booster seats. And phase 3 is surrounding seatbelt fitted restraints, with the hope that this will all be implemented by 2018. However, R44 seats will still be used for some time after 2018.
And are the R44 seats still safe though?
Yes, they are still safe, and they're very safe. They have many good qualities with the R44 approved seats, and there are lots of seats that even pass higher impact testing, such as the ADAC test and the German Stiftungsfahren test. However, iSize seats are considered to be the safest because R44 seats, for example, you're allowed to forward face at 9 kilos legally, which actually isn't ideal for a young baby's neck. They really need to be rear facing. Under R44 seats, there's no legal requirement to have a side impact test, whereas iSize, it's mandatory side impact testing, so you know the seat has passed side impact testing.
And as well as the side impact testing, what other crash test improvements does the new iSize seat have?
The new improvements is predominantly a new crash test dummy. So the new crash test dummy measures up to 27 points of force on a dummy's body. So we've got a much better idea of how it will protect the child. And data that's come over from Scandinavian countries where they keep children rear facing up to 4 years of age, and the data from the crash test dummy has shown that actually forward facing at 9 kilos isn't ideal for a young baby. They really need to rear face for the best protection. So when they're rear facing, their head, neck and spine is kept aligned, and in a collision, the force of that collision is spread over the back of the seat and not applied to the child's neck.
So if you can summarise all the points that you have just made, just to make it clear.
Okay, so to make it clear to people, iSize is a new legislation. It's part of a bigger regulation, R129, which will be fully enforced by 2018. However, they can still use R44 approved car seats, and they won't be phased out for some time after 2018. But the iSize seats are easier to fit, choose and use. So they're based on your child's height and stature. You have to rear face to 15 months. There's a mandatory side impact test, and if you've got an iSize vehicle and an iSize child seat, they'll be automatically compatible and easier to fit.
Brilliant. Well, Kat, thank you for answering my questions, and I hope that will make things a little bit clearer for any people travelling with children on the new iSize legislation.